Influenza happens every year, and it has been there for quite some time. And because it is a virus, strain keeps on changing. Right now, it is the H3N2 strain. Sometime back, it was H1N1, which was also called the swine flu, which was slightly more lethal or more dangerous. So the strains keep on changing. There is antigenic drift, the typical term which is used when the antigens keep on changing. So year to year, these keep on changing, and this time it is this H3N2 which is been found to be circulating maximum. There might be other things also, other viruses also, but predominantly it's H3N2 which is circulating right now. And this is causing most of the illnesses which has come to the notice. Influenza generally is this strain is generally less lethal than the swine flu strain. Influenza, the death rates are generally somewhere less than 1% or so, as such. But it can become more severe in individuals who have comorbidities, particularly those individuals who have comorbidities which involve their lungs mainly, or they are diabetics, the uncontrolled diabetes, heart disease, or the cancer patients who are undergoing chemotherapy, or any kind of immunosuppression where the virus replicates much more and remains longer in the body. So those are the situations where it can be dangerous, and particularly extremes of the age. Elderly, mostly above 75, 80-year-old, and very young children, maybe less than a year, less than 6 months. So in those extreme situations, it can cause a severe disease, and hospitalizations have been happening, particularly in these kind of groups. And I think first death was reported recently. That was, as I understand, it was an 82-year-old person. So as I said, extremes of ages are more susceptible to develop severe problem and risk of death. But again, the risk of death is it is less as compared to, I would say, the more severe strains of COVID and the more severe, most dangerous strains like swine flu. Now we have just now come out of the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, and this virus also spreads through a similar route. It spreads through the droplets. So the main organ involved the respiratory tract. So the way it spreads is similar to the COVID, and most of the patients, around more than 90 or 95% of the patients, it may cause a simple mild illness, which can be managed symptomatically, and maybe rest at home, and strict isolation possibly may not be required, right? Unless and until there are other comorbid people or people at risk of developing severe disease are around. So strict isolation like COVID is not required here. But yes, the spread of this virus is also fast. It can spread rapidly amongst the population. So that is what is happening right now. We are seeing a lot of cases. Every year we see a lot of cases during the flu season. It happens, and there's a mild illness which remains for about 3 to 4 days or 5 days, and it becomes all right. Right now, what is more worrying is with this virus, the symptoms are possibly getting more prolonged. The symptoms of cough, sore throat, and maybe even breathlessness or asthma-like symptoms, they are getting, individuals are getting these symptoms, and they are remaining for quite some time, and which is the characteristic possibly of this virus.
Like quite some time means for a few weeks?
Few weeks to even a couple of months. People are continuing to have distressing symptoms. There's always a chance of antigenic shift and antigenic drift, which happens in a different host. But like in the swine flu, the swine is not affected, but the human gets affected because the virus goes there, and then it changes there, and that virus comes back. And the human virus goes there, and animal virus is there. They mix up, and a different strain is produced, which when comes to the human being, then it becomes lethal. So that kind of a possibility may be there, but right now, there's no indication of any such thing. See, the remedies for this are only symptomatic. For fever, take the fever medications, and you should take the opinion of your physician. And I would say, since majority of the cases are mild, they may be mildly symptomatic, so I don't think everybody who just develops symptoms should start rushing to the hospital. Antibiotics which are used left, right, and center. I mean, just one day of fever or cough, people start antibiotics, all kinds of antibiotics. That should be avoided because it's a viral disease. Antibiotics are not going to have any benefit in the viral disease. On the contrary, these antibiotics, if taken unnecessarily, may give rise to the problem of antimicrobial resistance. In fact, they will not help you in getting rid of the symptoms. They may cause side effects. Plus, they may promote antibiotic resistance. So, unless your doctor or the physician advises, antibiotics should be avoided.